What is up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing some more test hands here for Goukis. Last time I did a test hand going second and it turned out to be a lot longer than I expected, so I only managed to fit in one opening test hand. As a result, I wanted to also just do some additional test hands because of the fact that I figure turn 2 would be a bit fun, given that we're trying to actually break our opponent's boards. As a result, I wanted to show whatever full potential this kind of deck could actually go with. At the same time, I'm also aware of the fact that I did make a particular misplay in my previous test hand that I definitely want to address in that particular case here, so I won't be making that mistake. Hopefully I do remember, but you know, it is something that is quite obvious. So with that being said, let's just get things on and see how we go. But before we do get started, I would like to remind you guys to drop a like, share, comment and subscribe, and also hit that bell notification as well. It really does matter. So without further ado, let's begin. Alright, so here's our opening hand. Definitely something that is not the greatest of situations, but I think we could still definitely pull something off here. So firstly, we do have a disruption on our opponent, so that's definitely fantastic. Whatever they wanted to do, we already stopped them. We have here Fog Blade, so I guess we could set that as well as preparation for later on. We don't have any monsters, so I guess we could just go for the Rise Scorpio right away. This will also allow us to ditch off the Bear Hug, allowing us to summon out Headbats, and we could immediately link these two just before or just right after we summon out the Fire Flint Lady. So I'm also going to put here a Field Center, and we're just going to link summon these two, allowing us to go for our Isolde. So here we are, and from that we could obviously add cards, first from Isolde and then from the two Goukis as well. So I'm going to add here the Kagemucha Knight via the Isolde. So where is it? Over here. This could just be used as this card fodder later on, but the Rise Scorpio and the Headbat, definitely fantastic, allowing us to summon out additional cards or add additional cards. So in this particular circumstance, we're going to add the Twist Cobra and also the Rematch. And from that, what we're going to do here is we're going to activate Isolde's effect, allowing us to ditch off one of our cards, in this case Phoenix Blade, and we're going to summon out, well, we haven't used any of the other level 1s, so I'll just bring out the Octo Stretch and that'll be okay. In defense, of course, and in this particular circumstance, you could just take these 4 cards over here, link them away, allowing you to then go for your big monster here. Where are you? Howlode Ogre. Very nice, of course. The Octo Stretch will allow us to then search for another card. So in this particular circumstance, we have Guts. I'm thinking maybe the better option would be to prepare for the following turn. So I think Suprex would be a lot better in this circumstance. But with that being said here, we definitely can work off with quite a few of these. Go for the Rematch, allowing us to bring back, let's see, the Bear Hug, and also just any of the other Gouki monsters. They come back in defense, of course. So we can now take these 2 cards over here, link them away, allowing us to then go for, well, keep in mind, remember, when Bear Hug is summoned out via a Gouki card, you could also halve one of your opponent's face-up monsters. Definitely fantastic. So in one way, it's sort of weakening your opponent's monsters as well. But we'll link these 2 away, allowing us to go for the Virus Swordsman. This will allow us to then summon out Codebreaker. And Bear Hug will also add us our final card, Guts. So in this particular circumstance, where is the card? It's over, where are you? Over here. And we could take Virus Swordsman and Zero Day, link that away for Virus Berserker, bring these 2 back, link them away, and this would allow us to go for, over here, our Rusty Bardich. And let's take a look over here. So we have all of these. We can go for Rusty Bardich's effect, allowing us to also send off our other card, Ancient Cloak, banish that off, allowing us to summon out or add silent boots, special summoning this out as well, and then obviously setting one of our cards. So in this particular case, I'm going to set down my Shade Brigandine right over here, and we could just activate it, summoning it back out again, so we could now go for further link climbing if we actually needed to. It is definitely interesting what we could potentially go into, because we do have quite a few options over here. Let's see, I'm thinking like one of these monsters over here would be nice. In this case, maybe we could take Shade Brigandine and Silent Boots. We'll link these two away, allowing us to go for... Technically you could go for Cerberus. This would allow us to further extend in some sort of manner, which is fantastic of course, because I'm going to shuffle my deck right now. Alright, so 3 here, and we're going to discard one of our cards. Going to discard maybe the Gargantuan Knight, since we don't necessarily need it. And this would obviously allow us to then destroy one of our opponent's cards and then draw one card as well. So we're drawing 2 chunk forward, not necessarily the card we needed, but I guess with that being said, we could also banish off the Silent Boots, and this will allow us to then also add our other trap card here, our second Fog Blade, and we could easily set that as well. Keep in mind you could play a lot of different varieties of Phantom Knight spells and traps, and that way you could make a better use of the Silent Boots, but even so I think this is definitely fantastic. There you have here quite a nice lock going on. If you wanted to continue to extend, you could. For example, you could take the Cerberus and the Virus Berserker, and you could still continue to build up if you wish, of course. And in this particular circumstance, you have Abomination, which is an addition that I put into this deck in exchange for the Verte Anaconda. But this would allow us to go for our Avramex right over here. So that would be pretty nice as well, you know, as an option to go for. I guess you could put it over here as well, or over here. I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it doesn't really matter where you put it, but yeah, still, you definitely have a really nice board over here, still really strong, and you kind of have a lot more cards to actually follow up on, as opposed to what might be done prior to this, and having a little less than that. So you have to consider 2 aspects. You have to consider what you have on your board as a final piece, and you also have to consider what you have remaining as part of resources for follow-up play. Because thing is this, most decks, although you could go for these big OTKs, is it a guarantee that you will be OTKing your opponent? Not necessarily. You will definitely be putting them at the edge of their game, of course, and they would be close to going down to 0. But the thing is this, you need to be able to follow up, and to do so you need to have resources. So to have all of this here is definitely great to follow up, and we have these 2 cards as well, which could definitely just do great wonders for the deck. Alright, so not the most optimal hand, and not the greatest to demonstrate, I guess, but the thing is this, with all of these test hands, I like the fact that I'm able to at least use a variety of the different cards to prove that there are technically no useless cards in this particular deck. Every card has their own purpose, which is definitely fantastic. Even if 0 Day is in your hand, it's still a key combo card in your actual plays, so it's not necessarily something you're losing out on. But right over here, we do have Reinforcement of the Army. I'm just going to go with the Harpy's Feather Duster, clearing off their back row. Fantastic. We have here Rhoda, allowing us to add. I'm going to add my Suprex over here. We're going to take Suprex, summon out Guts. We're also going to summon out the Fire Flint Lady, which is fantastic as well. Link these 2 particular cards, allowing us to go for our Isolde. Mind you, I also have here Field Center. all the cards will do its usual searching. So in this case, I'm going to search for a headbat. I will also search here for my rematch. And finally, what else is there? Isolde will allow us to also add our Kagemucha Knight. So where is that? You don't even have to add the Kagemucha Knight, you could actually just add back the junk forward, and that could still be better. But either way, I'm always just going to go for the Kagemucha Knight, just because it's a go-to. So with that being said, we can now activate here. What you could technically do is, instead of adding the Kagemucha Knight off Isolde, you could just add anything else instead, any of the other Gouki cards, to discard as fodder for headbats, which is actually not bad of a move at all, so I might actually consider doing that. So yeah, I think I'll do that. So with that being said, let's just add whatever we're not going to summon. Probably the Rise Scorpio, it's the one we're unlikely to bring out. So we have here the Rise Scorpio, we have Rematch, allowing us to bring back our Suprex and our Guts. This will allow us to summon our Headbat as well. Discarding the Rise Scorpio, mind you, it can't summon back because Isolde locks it out, but that's okay because we can now take all of our cards over here. So we're going to take Isolde, we're going to take Guts, and we're going to take Fire Flint Lady, link those away, allowing us to go for our Power Load Ogre. We could also take, what else can we take here? It's not necessarily the worst thing here, so we take these two, allowing us to link into our Varus Swordsman, bringing out the Code Breaker 0 Day. Headbat will allow us to add, thankfully. So in this particular circumstance, I'll be adding out our Twist Cobra. I did forget to do one thing though, and that was I forgot to use Isolde's effect, so I'm just going to do that quickly right now. Bring out Guts and also ditch off our Phoenix Blade. Where is it? Where is it? Over here. And that's fine, of course, everything stays the same. But with that being said, what else do we have here? Oh no, we already had Guts there, so I'm just going to go for the other one. My apologies, Octo Stretch. But regardless, we're going to still play off everything the same way. Go for, over here, our Varus Berserker, bring these back, summon out the Rusty Bardage. Rusty Bardage can then just ditch off. We'll add this, of course, we'll set the other one, where is it? Just wanted to set the Shade Brigandine and ditch off our Ancient Cloak, which allowed us to search for our Silent Boots. And we could summon out Silent Boots, of course, as always. Also summoning out the Shade Brigandine. I'll keep Shade Brigandine set for the time being because what I want to do here is I want to take the Instant Fusion, activate it, allowing us to go for our Flame Swordsman. That is a warrior monster, by the way, so together with the Varus Berserker, we link these two, allowing us to go for our Mech Knight Crusadia Avramax. Definitely a fantastic choice. But with that being said, we do have quite a few options as well available to us. Actually, I might just keep this here, it still would be okay. Let's see here, so we do have two monsters on the board. We can go up for a third if we wanted to, so I'll bring out the Shade Brigandine, take that together with the Silent Boots, and this would allow us to then go for one of our Nightmares. So in this particular case, let's just go for, we'll go for Cerberus because we do know what we want to pop on the field. That's fantastic. We can use Silent Boots later on, but Cerberus will discard the Cobra, and we are definitely going to pop one of their cards as well. Fantastic. And since it's co-linked, we also get to draw one card, but they're also protected by card effects, so if your opponent wanted to negate and destroy it, they can't. Alright, so with that being said here, we're going to draw one card. Gillosaurus, we could still work with that, yes, and we could banish off our Silent Boots, allowing us to then add our Fog Blade, setting it, so that's very nice here. This is looking way better than the previous hand, but the only difference is that we do have less resources remaining. So we are trying to break the board, get through, but in exchange we do lose resources compared to the previous one. So we could easily bring out the Gillosaurus, that's not a big problem whatsoever. But we can definitely link these two up, allowing us to follow up and bring out our Phoenix if we wanted to. Instead of going for Phoenix, what you could do is you could technically just keep the Gillosaurus in the hand, go for the Octostretch and Cerberus and link that away instead, allowing you to then go for your Nightmare Unicorn, and that would spin one additional monsters, and that would of course allow you to discard a card as well, but also search off the Octostretch. So in this case, let's say we search off the Octostretch, getting Bear Hug, shuffle our deck, and we discard the Bear Hug, allowing us to draw one additional card. We have our Twist Cobra, nice. But yeah, we spin one card, we destroyed one card, we also weakened one of their monsters, I think. No, we didn't, that was in the previous turn, but even so, we still evolved this. What's great is we still have the Gillosaurus, so we could bring that out together with the Unicorn, further link climbing, allowing us to go for another link 4 if we really wanted to. So it's just really nice here. Power Load Ogre is going to have such high attack, so if one of your opponents have any monsters that are out in the open in attack position, Power Load Ogre is just dealing a lot of damage just because you have 4 links here, 4 links here, 4 links here. That's 12 plus the 3 here, 15 links times 200, which is just insane. You're adding 3k to this, so that's going to be at 5.8. It would just deal a lot of damage. This guarantees 3k damage as well, and these two also pack quite a bit of a punch as well, and you have a disruption. It's just looking really good. But this is essentially it for the test hand video. I do hope you guys enjoyed this. It's a great way to show the aspects of every single card in the deck and how they are able to consistently and synergetically work together, bringing us boards that can definitely just dish out great damage to your opponent, potentially OTKing them, or bring out a board that would definitely give a run for its money against your opponents, making it very difficult for them to break your board. However, I would like to hear your thoughts on what you think about each of these test hands. What would you do differently? However, thanks for joining me today. I hope you all have a fantastic day. I'll see you all next time.